They say the hardest thing in sports is to beat a team 3 times. Heck, the way we were playing against Boise, I was just lucky to beat them 1 time. And then fortunate enough to get them twice, and now we'll have a rematch with them again in the conference tournament. Obviously, we have a lot of respect for Boise. Leon Rice does a great job with that team. Degenhardt, a first-team all-conference performer. And so it'll be a great challenge, but one we look forward to Thursday afternoon at 2:30.
How motivated is Boise State going to be considering NCAA implications?
Well, we better be motivated given NCAA ramifications. So I don't try to worry too much about that. I just try to get the team ready to play at its very best. And we played well in March, and we continue to do that. So we will go there, pour everything into that Boise game, and then live with the results. But I like our chances. I like the way we're playing. I like our disposition. We had a really good practice yesterday. So we'll go out there and play against a really good team. Both teams will be highly motivated, and it should be a great contest.
I was going to say, what have you seen from Miles Heide in the absence of Magoon here over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I think someone told me like Miles Heide's made 17 shots in a row, something like that, which is amazing. That's almost Eric Saunders-like. Eric was here a long time ago. He made like 19 shots in a row at one point. And so Miles is playing really well, and that's a boost to his confidence and the team's confidence. So hopefully Miles will continue that run and have a really good conference tournament.
And the status of Magoon, will he be playing?
Magoon is really day-to-day, he hasn't done anything with the team yet, but I look out here and he's doing some lateral stuff. He's doing some shooting, and obviously until he gets through a full practice, it's hard to imagine him playing in the game. But we have today, we have tomorrow, and we'll see what it is.
How does it change things defensively if you have Magoon and if you don't have Magoon?
I mean, we beat Boise in large part because of our ability to block shots at the rim. And without him, that kind of goes away to a degree. Although we have other guys like Coleman Jones and Miles Byrd that block shots too at the rim, but not at the level Magoon does. And so I'm sure they'll feel better about their chances attacking the rim, which they do at a high level, and finish in this game. So we have to find a way to put up some resistance if Magoon's not in the lineup.
Since Magoon's been out, you've played some teams that have been pretty big, and you matched bigs with bigs. Boise isn't as big. Does that allow you and bring into play the option of going small?
Yeah, I mean, we'll have a chance to go small. Boise's played every different lineup this year, too, searching for what works best. They started the year with Degenhardt playing the small forward, and then their games later on, he played the power forward, his more natural position, and now I'm looking up, and he's playing the center position. So they're trying to find a way to maximize their talent, who's playing well at which point of the game, and so we'll see a small lineup from Boise at times, or we'll see a big lineup, and we'll just have to match that as the game goes on.
Brian, your thoughts on the conference awards that were announced today and the 3 guys on the team that were recognized?
Well, first of all, Kimo was not happy he didn't win Newcomer of the Year. So, but other than that, basketball awards are great team honors. You don't do it without your teammates, and so we're happy for Nick Boyd and Miles Byrd for being named second team, Magoon for being named Defensive Player of the Year, and on the all-defensive team, Freshman of the Year. And so we've had a lot of good awards, but none of them happened without the team. And so I'm sure these guys are humble and appreciative of the awards, but we have team goals that exceed any individual award. So our team goals is to continue to play good basketball and find a way to play in that NCAA tournament.
Right. Both Nick and Miles smiled and said how much they enjoy this March time of year and the one-and-done basketball. How about you personally? Do you get a little more juice?
Yeah, I mean, it's a long race to get to this point. Like I said, we started in July, and so we've been at it a long time. And now the worst thing about March basketball is the end is so abrupt. Whether it's conference tournament, first, second, third game, whether you make the NCAA tournament and you're out right away or you win 2 or 3 games. But whenever that end happens, it happens abruptly for everybody at one team. At the end of the day, it's whoever wins the national championship's the only man standing. So we will try to put ourselves in a position to play in that event, and hopefully that happens.
You figured out how a guy who's on third-team all-conference can be named Newcomer of the Year ahead of a guy who was second-team all-conference?
I think some of these awards are really numbers-driven, so you put up points and people can look at a stat sheet And a lot of the people that look at some of these awards, all they look at stat sheets. They don't look at the games. They don't get to watch every game, every team. I don't watch every game, every team. You know, I watch the majority of them, so I have a pretty good feel. But it's hard at the end of the day unless you really pay attention and watch every game to see what contribution each player is making to the cause.
Anything else for Coach?
Just in terms of Magoon, just talk about his trajectory as a player. He wasn't even named the best freshman on your team in the preseason poll. And to go from that to winning 2 awards, honorable mention, all conference, and being such a valuable piece.
Yeah, I mean, he's, you know, the redshirt year helped him. Even though he was injured, he did get back and get some college reps against Jaden Ledee, which will test anybody. And then he came out here, and he's trying to find a rhythm as a young freshman. And then arguably his last 7 or 8 games he played before he got injured was maybe one of the best players in the conference. And so now he's got to overcome an injury, try to find a way to get back into some kind of rhythm, especially if we're playing in late March where he can play in the NCAA tournament, he can play in the conference tournament. I don't know what that is, but to get his timing back, get his swagger back where he can be impactful. But Magoon is everything we'd hoped he would be, and now we have to keep him on that path.
He just said that, I asked him about next year, and he said he's focused on the pros. Do you embrace that? Do you encourage players to go out and test waters? And do you think he's ready to go make that step, or do you think he needs another year of development in the college level?
It all depends. I mean, Miles Byrd will do the same thing. And if you get to the combine somehow and you have a good 2 or 3 days, you can play yourself into the first round, you know? Or if you don't play well, you get one chance at a first impression, and then you have to fight like crazy to turn their minds around as to what they saw you when you were in that situation. So I embrace that. I want our guys to aspire to greatness, to aspire to the highest level of basketball, which is the NBA. And so Magoon's first task is to get healthy enough where he looks really good. And I think we can do that for him. We can help him get ready and in enough good health by late summer where he's at his best again.
How beneficial is it for the program to develop the way you've developed, to put players consistently in the NBA like you've done really for a decade plus or more?
Yeah, the NBA is we used to be able to tell people we won games, we graduated players, we developed players, but unless we put players in the NBA, they're like, well, we agree with all that, but we have to be able to have a chance to get to the NBA from your program. And now we've done that. You know, we've had multiple players get drafted, multiple players in the NBA at the same time, and so they can see a pathway to the NBA through San Diego State, which is important to all of us.
In regards to Boise State, how do you try to guess what they might change? I mean, obviously they lost 2 games to you. They're going to change something. Do you try to guess what they're going to do, or do you just wait in the first few minutes and see what it is and then adjust on the fly?
I think at this point both teams are who they are. They'll tweak some things, we'll tweak some things. But I listened to a broadcast last night when they talked about Mark Few going against Randy Bennett. They've gone against the others so long. Leon Rice and whether it's Coach Fisher or myself have been in this league a long time. We know how each other play. We know how each other think. And that's why these games are always so competitive. You know, they went on a really good streak against us over the last 2 or 3 years, and we've kind of turned it a little bit this year. But every one of those games is competitive and hard fought, and I would imagine there'll be nothing different when we play them in the conference tournament.
Nick, how does it feel being named All-17 team?
It feels great. Hard work paid off. Obviously, got to thank God for the opportunity, you know, to be here. That was always the vision, you know, to be a, you know, all-conference caliber player. But ultimately, don't really care too much. I want to win this Saturday.
This is your first Mountain West tournament. What's your mindset going in, and how do you approach the tournament at Boise State?
My mindset is to win. Do whatever it takes to win. The Mountain West, this league has been awesome. Just the competition. I feel like every matchup, like whether it's the first team in the league or the last team in the league, has been personal. So I'm excited. I know the fans will travel, come to Las Vegas, so it'll be a great environment. And I'm just ready to do whatever it takes to win.
Had a lot of experience in one-and-done situations, whether it's conference tournaments or NCAA. What do you think are some things that this team has that will allow it to do well in this situation?
Just our competitive edge. I think we compete like no other team in the league in terms of just when we got our minds right. So that gives us the opportunity to win some games, and then just our talent. I feel like we're one of the most talented teams in the league, so when it comes to the competitive edge and talent, you can win some games, but at the same time, I think we just gotta, focus on the game plans because it's gonna be back to back to back to back. So just your focus when it comes to film in the meeting room and walking through has to be at a really high level if you want to do something special.
Player, how much do you like these games where it's one and done?
I mean, I love it. Like you said, one and done is opportunity just to pour everything you have out on that court at that moment, and then hopefully if you win and you get another opportunity the next day, do the same. So I love it. It's what I love to do as a basketball player, compete at the highest level, and there's no looking back now.
How do you think Boise will approach this game? Obviously, they lost to you twice, and they were pretty convincing.
Yeah.
Do you expect them to try something different?
I mean, yeah, I think they'll switch some things up. They have a great coaching staff who's probably working on a game plan, that's really intense. Probably be really physical with us. We haven't played them without Goon, so I'm sure they'll try to, poke some holes in that. And at the same time, they have a talented team. I mean, they got Dagenhart, who's been playing well all year. Cardenas, who's one of the best guards in the conference. So that gives them a chance at all times. But I think they'll try to switch some things up just in terms of their coverages and being more physical.
The last game, obviously, Goon had 6 blocks. They kept coming inside, kept blocking. How does it change things if you have him versus, I know it's uncertain.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But how does it change things if you have him versus if you don't have him?
It changes things a lot. I mean, obviously, we probably, in my opinion, probably had to go to some smaller lineups where, we could use our quickness and our athleticism in a different way, which could kind of give us an advantage. But it's a tough task. I mean, Boise is like a big, physical, strong team, so it's on us to just man up and bang with them at the end of the day.
They're playing for their NCAA lives, so how motivated are you expecting them to be?
We doing the same thing. Till our name gets called on Selection Sunday, we fighting for our lives, so we fighting for the same thing, and I know they'll be motivated, we'll be motivated, and I think we have a lot to prove after this conference slate where it took a toll on us as a team, in my opinion. We didn't have our best nights all the time, whether it was focus or just energy or execution. So now we have a tournament-style event where we get a chance to, show the league that we got better.
Expecting a dogfight?
Yeah, no doubt. I'm ready to bang, so I'm having fun. I don't know. I'm just ready to bang. It's March. I'm excited to play. Like I said, every single Mountain West game that I played in has been physical, has been intense. It's kind of been personal. So I'm ready to bang, and I'm with whatever when it comes to March.
What's it like seeing Miles also on the second team?
Yeah.
Your first year playing together as much as you're both on the floor at the same time.
I mean, it's awesome. Just his journey. I mean, I kind of haven't seen it all, but I kind of seen it all at the same time. Just playing this team in the Final Four, and obviously Miles wasn't somebody who really contributed on the court, at least. To see him now be one of the vocal points of our team, and it's amazing just to see somebody's hard work pay off, and just how much of a leader he is on this team, and how big his presence is. I think second team's an understatement, to his value to our team. But it's awesome to see kind of go full circle.
Have you figured out how a guy who is second team all-conference, a guy who is third team all-conference can be newcomer of the year ahead of a guy who's second team all-conference?
Nah, I don't know. I don't really care. I'm just trying to win the Mountain West tournament now, so it is what it is, and I guess I got something more to prove.
Is a little bit of an edge for you?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I feel like I'm one of the best players in the league, no matter what. First team, second team, third team, fourth team. So I got something to prove come Thursday at 2:30, and I'm gonna be ready to go.
Miles, how does it feel to be second team?
It's cool. You work really hard for stuff like that to be acknowledged, and it's a good feeling. I'm glad we had 3 different guys nominated for stuff. I think there's countless other guys on the team that could have been nominated as well.
Yeah, how do you feel about Nick getting jobbed on newcomer of the year?
Yeah, we don't look into it too much. I don't think, I haven't talked to Nick yet, so congrats to him on the second team. I bet you he wanted to win newcomer, and I think he deserved it as well. So, yeah, but end of the day, we focus on Saturday.
You've seen Boise a ton over the last 2 years. What's it going to take?
It's really hard to beat a team 3 times. So, we got to go in there focused. We got to go in there prepared. They got a all Mountain West, probably 25 years in Tyson Dagenhart. He's well respected in this league. Been doing what he's doing for 4 years. They got Cardenas, who been great in the Mountain West as well. So you know they're not going to come down and just get it in. So it's going to be a good game come Thursday. Yeah, no, I think pretty much probably 4 teams in the Mountain West are coming into the Mountain West tournament kind of on the bubble and, you know, need to win multiple games to solidify themselves in the March Madness tournament.
How much do you enjoy this time of basketball where it's one and done in every game you're playing for your coaches?
I mean, this is the best type of basketball in my opinion. You know, you gotta play like your hair's on fire. You know, every team you're gonna play at this time of the year is gonna be a really good team, well connected. So, you know, this is when I think teams who are really good show that they're really good.
22 points against Boise State prior to the last matchup. Do you feel like you need to replicate elements like that?
I think just play within myself, play within the team. You know, we're gonna have a good game plan going out there, and yeah, just execute what we need to execute in order to come out with the win.
Can you tell your teammates who haven't played in that West tournament before?
You know, it's a gauntlet. You know, every team you're gonna play, you've seen twice already this year with the round robin schedule that we have. So I mean, you're familiar with everybody you're gonna play against, and yeah, it's not gonna be any easy games come Thursday.
I asked this to Nick, what's the difference between playing with and without Byrd?
I think specifically against Boise State, you know, Magoon makes it really hard for Degenhart just because of his length and his and like how much bigger he is than Degenhart, taller than he is. But you know, I think the hottest group in our team right now is the bigs. So I think that they're going to be in there. They're going to go ready to compete. You know, get locked in for the next 2 days on the scout, and then yeah, I mean, we're excited. If we have Goon, thrilled. If we don't, you know, we got to do what we got to do to get him back.
The flip side of that is they haven't seen this Miles Heide.
Yeah, no, Miles Heidi's hooping right now. You know, I said it probably 2 months ago. Like, make sure that the hate is as loud as the cheering, and you know, I've been seeing a lot of respect thrown in Miles Heidi's way. So I'm really happy that's come up within the past few games, and you know, we just need him to keep playing the way he is.
Knowing what you know about Nick, how much motivation do you think it will be that he was not a newcomer of the year?
I mean, Nick's crazy, so I mean, it's definitely going to be used as motivation. But at the same time, Nick's mature and he's played a lot of college basketball, so I don't think he's looking too much into that. And I think he's more important on you know, what we can do as a team and how many games we can come win come March.
How do you feel about winning 2 different awards for the all-conference?
Oh, it feels, you know, definitely great. Great for the confidence, and you know, those are goals. You know, I talked to Coach Dave. He was like, your goals should be to win Defensive Player of the Year, and getting that done is a really great feeling.
Nick Boyd, we all felt should have been Newcomer of the Year. What are your thoughts about Nick not getting the Newcomer of the Year award?
I feel like he deserved it. You know, Nick he's been playing outstanding for us. He's done a lot for the team. You know, as a leader, offensively, defensively, and yeah, I feel like he deserved that award.
What's the season been like for you? I mean, you weren't even the preseason freshman of the year. Your teammate was. So you really came out of nowhere for a lot of people. How fun has it been to sort of establish yourself and show what you can do?
And it's been real fun out there, you know, getting to finally play basketball again after not playing since high school. You know, it's been a lot of ups and downs, but it's been a fun journey.
What's it been like to watch your teammates step up in the offense over the last couple of months?
Oh, it's great. You know, Miles Heide, he's been playing great. That's my roommate. I love to see him going out there and killing it. You can definitely tell his confidence is there.
What's your process going to be for next season? Have you made a decision about where you'll go next season, whether you'll be here or portal or pro? And how will you sort of come to that decision?
Right now, I'm looking more towards trying to get to the pros, but yeah.
Get to that, I'm sorry.
Get to the pros.
So do you think you'll prepare for the draft, try to go through some pre-draft stuff?
Yes, sir.
Do you think you're ready for that, or do you think you need to just be evaluated and see what you need for another year of college?
Well, guess we'll have to find out. Yeah.
So it will be a long process this offseason before you determine whether you come back.